Hi, Miss Kaiser. I'm Caroline Irons. I just go by Caroline. A short description about me and some things that I'm really passionate about. I love spending time with my family. That's always been a really big value in my family. We've had family dinners every night for my entire life, and that's been a big part of growing up and appreciating family time. I also love to explore the city with my friends. That's something I love to do on the weekends. I guess now it's a little different, but before COVID, my friends and I would spend the weekends doing all the touristy things around the city because they're fun, and I can see why people come to San Francisco. This summer, because of the pandemic, I took advantage of doing a lot of hikes and walks with some of my close friends, and I got to appreciate the beauty of the Marin Headlands and Land's End and some of these other amazing places near or in San Francisco. And then I'm a soccer player. I've been playing since I was 3, probably. This will hopefully be my third year on varsity soccer at SH. I also play club soccer. I love my teammates at Sacred Heart. They're such a big part of me. This past season was amazing. We grew so close and we became sisters, and so I think that shows a lot of who I am as a student athlete and how much I care for my teammates. What do I like and dislike about school? I love spending time with my friends and my classmates, so that's what I'm really disappointed to be missing out of, at least for the next quarter. I've come to appreciate the friends that I've made in classes, and how even last year as a junior I would go into a class that I didn't know anyone in really, and I came out with a bunch of new friends and new experiences and fun memories, and so I definitely miss that. I also really, really love the atmosphere at SHC. I feel like I know it's really cheesy, but I just always felt calm and happy. Even when I was in a stressful time with academics, I always felt like there was a place to go or people to be with. And I really care about my relationship with my teachers. It's always been really important to me ever since elementary school, or maybe even before. So I think that it's going to be a little bit harder on Zoom, but I'm going to do my best to get to know them and for them to get to know me. What do I dislike about school? I think that there's a lot of stress that comes with school, just overall, not one class in particular. Just I think the pressures of taking APs and doing really well and getting into college, it gets to be a lot. And I think that even though it's an important part of us and as students, I think that's a lot to handle, and sometimes more than 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds need in their lives. But it's part of it, and I work hard, so it's just who I am. What I'm looking forward to in terms of our class, I'm really excited to learn about the different roles of each branch of government when it comes to checks and balances, because that's something I'm super interested in, and how interconnected all the branches are, and how one cannot succeed without the support of the others. I think that's super fascinating and a very clever and smart system that I'd love to learn more about. I also am really looking forward to learning about some of the very big monumental Supreme Court cases. I think there were a few mentioned in the first 2 chapters of our textbook that I enjoyed reading about, but I love learning about how even just people, people like you and me are able to make such a big change and have their voices heard, and they can make history through the Supreme Court. I think that's fascinating. And I want to learn more about the Electoral College, because I think that it's an unjust system and it's not right, and I'd like to learn about the specifics so I can have a better understanding of what should be changed in the future. And something I'd like you to know about me, this isn't really a question, but I'd like for you to know, is that this summer I took a online class for a week at UCLA. It was a Model UN course. It was like 8 hours a day, super intense course, and I loved it. There were a lot of different aspects of it, but the first 2 days were learning about how to do research and how to have reliable information, and learning about the rules and procedures of Model UN, and also the background of international relations and political science and all of this that goes into the UN itself and Model UNs. And then the last 4 days of that were an actual Model UN class, and I loved it. I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to pivot my ideas and how to find compromises. And I think what was really unique about this is that I represented the country of South Korea on the issues of the Venezuelan refugee crisis and overall refugee well-being. And so having to understand the needs of a country, not my own or their opinions, and how I just think it tested me. It was a challenge, and I loved it. I learned how to respect people who disagree with me, or at least I wouldn't say that I wasn't respectful beforehand, but seeing how some of the people I was surrounded by in this online Model UN weren't as respectful, and learning how to not be like that, and also them learning, it was just super amazing. I loved it. And I got to appreciate the thrill of presenting and the pride of succeeding and passing amendments and resolution papers, and I just fell in love with the whole process. So sorry, I'm talking a lot, but through this experience of the summer, I figured out what I want to do, and I know that I want to major in international relations in college, and hopefully double major with a second major in Spanish, because I've been speaking since I was born, basically, and I'm fluent, so that's a big part of me. But through this one course, this 6 days, I got to appreciate what I might want to do when I'm older. And of course, I'm aware that things can change, and that's how it is, but that's why I'm so excited for this class, because I'm interested in public policy, foreign affairs, diplomacy, international relations, and all of that is encompassed inside of the U.S. government and international governments. And so I'm super excited for your class, and I'm just excited to learn and become more familiar with all these terms, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience, and I'm super excited. So that's me, and I can't wait for this school year. So thank you.